OSU Max General Manager Jason Carroll also with us here on halftime. And we've got Stanley who's giving us a call from Diggins, Missouri, right on our hotline. Stanley, appreciate you calling. What you want?
Just real quick, and then I'll let you guys take it from here. But I just wanted you to know, you, Phil, and Matt, I'm preparing to head to Stillwater, and I want to share with the listeners what I got cooking up today. First off, I woke up in my parents' basement, got on their Gateway desktop, and printed directions on MapQuest. So I'd have a fuel-efficient trip in my dually, if you know what I'm talking about. So shout out to Ron and Melinda, and they changed out the ink cartridges for me. Now, I want to get down to business real quick, gentlemen. Here's my checklist for the post-game celebration in Stillwater. I got my batting gloves, I got my aviators, and last but not least, I got my cheetah print Speedo pack. Back in my day, MC Hammer and Coach Prime did a song called Pumps and a Bump, and I plan to reenact it at Eskimo Joe's. So I got the Hogs winning 27-24 with our D coming up big. Ball security is paramount, gentlemen. Woo pig.
All right, Stanley, we'll see you at Eskimo Joe's after the game. Ty told me he's got some very interesting things planned if Arkansas wins the games, and he's going to be there too. So good luck, Stanley. So I think he's probably got some Crystal Pepsi or some Surge in his car while he's driving out here from all the way out there. This would be the late 90s stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah. Like Crystal Pepsi may have been gone by then, but, yeah, Surge for sure.
That's the one we got to bring back. What is the environment like here?
It's really good.
Eddie said it was like a small stadium. This is an NFL-sized stadium.
It's a 50. So here's how I would equate it, right? So think of Razorback Stadium, lower level, no upper deck, right? And it's kind of it's configured the same way a little bit. The noise here, though, stays in a different way than it does at Razorback Stadium. It just does.
Is it like a War Memorial and it kind of hangs around in there?
It's better than
I just mean the
Memorial.
noise level.
It's better than War Memorial. The fun thing is the paddle people.
What's the paddles?
So the paddles, there's the front row of students section is the paddle people. So right before the defensive play, they paddles against the padding on the wall. So it just creates a little fun atmosphere around the defensive side of the football.
Sounds like Mississippi State and the Cowbells.
It's not nearly as annoying as the Cowbells.
Do they have Christopher walking up on the video board saying, "I need more paddle"?
No, there is no.
Because they do in Starkville. Just a different word that they throw out there. Tell me about where are my notes here? This Brennan Presley, tall receiver.
He's not a tall receiver.
Well, he's a guy
he is 5'6", 5'7", and a playmaker.
Gundy has pointed out how he helps them develop proper numbers in the box. It sounds like he's really difficult to cover.
He is really difficult to cover. And then they added a piece right behind him in Gavin Freeman, who transferred in from OU, who's a freak athlete. They call him G Freaky. So when Presley and they had a couple sets with them last week where both of them are in the game. So you got two dynamic, quick, small guys that can make plays. But Presley, he's a superstar, smart kid from Bixby, Oklahoma, and has
was
been
he one
around.
of the guys who was a teammate of the Haas brothers?
No, he was gone long before them. But he is. His brother may have been a teammate of the Haas brothers, and his brother was here for a year and then went to Tulsa as a receiver, running back at Tulsa now. But yeah, Brennan is the consistent guy that's been here for a long time, and a really good guy, really good receiver.
How would you describe Ollie Gordon's running style? Like, what other running back would you compare him to?
Well, like a lot of comparisons are Derrick Henry.
Okay.
But to me, the guy that I covered, Darren McFadden, he doesn't have Darren's closing speed.
Yeah, he was a 4.3 guy.
But he can break away, and, man, his lower half has gotten so much bigger, and so you can't arm tackle the guy, or he's going to break through and have – he led the country with 13 broken tackles last week. And
wow.
So, he's a very physical runner that'll come at you, but he can also make you miss. And so he's a really good guy. But – like I said it on Bo's show yesterday, I mean, 22 for Arkansas and Ollie know each other, and Ollie thinks highly of him too. So I think it's going to be a good battle with the running backs tomorrow.
But it's also like that when you have the numbers in your favor with a running back like Ollie Gordon, it's like you got a 10-yard gain already right there in front of you. Because you want to keep him in small spaces.
It's confidence, and then your offense feels like you can do everything you want. That's the whole thing. If you can run the ball, then you can do anything you want on the offensive side. And I think to his point, if we can get our running back going, you know what it does? It limits their possessions. We need to control the ball. We need to keep Ollie Gordon off the field. So if we can run the ball, establish the run game, I think that's advantage Arkansas.
Well, and that's why I think these teams are close to each other. And just personnel, there's still unknowns and how Arkansas is going to react to pressure and stuff tomorrow. But, realistically, both teams have really good receivers. I don't know enough about Arkansas.
Our best receiver might be out.
I think Armstrong's playing.
You think he's going to play?
He was at practice the other day.
Okay.
We're getting texts in here. The line's gone up in Oklahoma State's favor by 2 points. It's now at 9.5. It's been 7.5, and folks are thinking that there's some injury that nobody's reporting because we don't have to report injuries for this game.
I don't know anything about that.
I'm sure you
Arkansas's
don't.
End,
it's just that's the feeling.
Or people just feel more confident in Oklahoma State.
Maybe
it's Oklahoma State at home. It would be Coach Pittman's biggest win as Arkansas head coach.
I think they're 23-3 in their last since 2000 at home, so they don't lose very often. Now they lost a bad game to South Alabama last year, but
like you said, they didn't know who they were at that point.
Yeah, it was not good.
You can make a valid point about special teams. We had a caller a moment ago say, and I don't know how much to trust what he's saying, but he predicted a 3-point Arkansas win. In order for that to happen, that could be a walk-off field goal from a kicker who hasn't had to kick yet. You haven't had to rush him out there at a moment's notice. Like the Mississippi State game last year, like A&M the year before. You got to be out there really quickly. You got to know what you're doing, and you got a different snapper now. Keep in mind they have a different long snapper.
We still haven't punted yet this year.
Punted.
Yeah,
so that's right. They know who their kicker is. Arkansas does too. They haven't had to put any of that in motion yet.
Well, and again, I go back to Taylon Green's almost unforced error last week when he threw it deep on the first play. Does Oklahoma State get pressure on him and force him into some of those? Does Landon Jackson and some of the line get pressure on Bowman and force him into some of the same mistakes he made last year? Some of those keys, you just don't know how it's going to play until you get in the game and start seeing how guys are going to react to certain things. It's going to be a fun game, and we'll see what happens.
We had some texts in to say they're just happy that they don't have to hear about Rock Riggio during this football game.
I'm just telling you guys, I know Arkansas fans hated Rock, but Rock is a quality guy that likes to have fun.
They'd have loved him if he was on their team, that's for sure.
They would have loved him if he was on Arkansas's team, and he almost went to Arkansas. One of the things that has been good for me, because in the media, you get to meet guys and you get to interview them and do some stuff, but you're not around them all the time, right? Like, I have the fortunate luxury of being able to walk or go up one floor in the elevator and go walk up and down and talk to any of the coaches that I want to talk to about anything you want to talk to about. You also build relationships with guys. I've got 3-year relationships with guys like Colin Oliver. I've got Ollie Gordon and Brennan Presley and all those guys. You build relationships with them, and so you get to figure out these guys on a different level than just, oh, hey, you're a football player, right? And so that's been good for me. And that, like talking about Rock, you don't like Rock in the way he plays, but if you got to know Rock the person, then you would really like a guy like that. So
well, that's what happens when we're making up our minds of who somebody is based upon what they do between white lines.
Yeah,
this is a difficult place to be. So that means, is it all right if we say that you're on the propaganda side of it then? Because if you're 20 minutes, you're held to 20 minutes, you're going to report everything you see, right? Everything you see, the guys who aren't playing and all of that. If you're allowed to be at practice the entire thing and build relationships with them, you're coming from a different perspective. And it's a perspective of the story that they want to tell. And I'm not saying that in any negativity or any judgment or anything. It feels like you get a chance on your end, and it's the same with the Hogs Plus people, to build relationships with coaches and players in the way that, like Clay Henry used to be able to, Nate Allen, all those guys. You can't do that anymore.
No, it's hard. It's hard to do it. And that's why I'm fortunate to be able to do what I do and try to tell stories of the athletes their stories, right? It doesn't. What happens on the field, everybody sees what's happening on the field, and everybody reports about what happens on the field. But you get to either show things in a different way or tell people's stories in a different way than you would if you were me 3 years ago, 4 years ago on TV trying to do something. It's a different perspective.
It's also the same idea. You're going to make up your mind of who somebody is based upon what they do between white lines. It's the same thing as, this is what this person is like because this is what they sounded like in an 8-minute press conference. You don't really get a sense of a person in a press conference.
Well, I mean, I'll take Ollie, for example, right? I've developed a really good relationship with Ollie, and we were able to tell his story in a long-form 30-plus minute piece on who Ollie Gordon is, where he came from, and those kind of things, and really give perspective from people that know Ollie best. And so you do those kind of things. And, I don't know what it would have been like trying to do that with Matt back in the day.
NIL money changes everything, right?
Yeah, but I'm not paying them to do that.
Well, they're getting paid to do that. Though.
Well,
that's the name, image, likeness.
I know Matt loved all of us back in the day.
I love everybody, man. I'm on everybody's side, man.
He manages to achieve something.
I want you guys to win, man.
I've never seen it before.
Yeah.
He's different than like Switzerland. It's not that he's neutral. It's that he manages to be on everybody's side all at once. That's
right.
talent.
That's right.
That is real talent.
I want you to have a great day. That's right.
You too, man.
Yeah.
And you started it off perfect by being here.
Believed it. Yeah.
Jason, we'll let you go.
I gotta give a shout out
yes.
to Aaron Keith, who's, I don't know if he's sitting in his car right now clocking people on the interstate or, but he's getting ready to head here tomorrow
and punch you in the shoulder or something.
Well, between him or Crandall on the sideline, yeah, the two police officers traveling with Pittman, yeah.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.